What's up, sports fans? This is the LucasRossSports channel, and it's time to give you my reaction to the 2023 college football AP Top 25 poll for the 2023 college football season. We are now just officially a week away from the 2023 season. It's finally almost here. It's coming up next weekend. We do have week number 0 coming up. But the AP Top 25 poll came out a few hours ago. It came out like at 12 o'clock Eastern Time, 11 o'clock Central Time. So I'm looking forward to, giving my reaction here to the AP Top 25. And I'm also going to kind of compare this AP Top 25 poll, to my original Top 25, my preseason Top 25 poll. You can go back and watch my Top 25 video. I think I did it a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was about a week ago or something like that. But you can go back and watch my video, my preseason Top 25 video, but let's get right into it here with my reaction to the AP Top 25 poll heading into the 2023 college football season. We'll start with the top 5 here. We got Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, and LSU as the top 5 teams here in the AP poll. Georgia, Michigan, and Ohio State were my top 3 teams. I think that's pretty clear. I think this is pretty, I think this is pretty much right here with the top 3 teams. Georgia clearly the number 1 team heading into the 2023 season. Then Michigan here at number 2. They're clearly the favorites to win the Big Ten East this year. And then Ohio State here at number 3. I mean, I know they're kind of ahead of Alabama here, but I think it's pretty accurate that they put Ohio State here at number 3. Now, Alabama, I didn't have them in my top 5, in my preseason top 25. I had them just outside the top 5 poll, but this is an Alabama team that, the AP poll could not predict against. I really don't kind of blame them here for putting in the top 5, but I just think, Alabama is going to have some ups and downs this year. Maybe they're not in the top 5 for very long, but I just think it's kind of hard to predict against this Alabama team. I'm not going to disagree with the AP poll. I think it's kind of clear that Alabama could be the number 4 best team in the country. But like I said, they may not last here very long in the top 5 because they do play in the SEC West, and it's a very tough division now these days. And then LSU here at number 5. I had LSU ranked in my number 5 in my preseason top 25. So I think the top 5 is pretty accurate, with these 5 teams. I think the top 3 teams are pretty accurate with Georgia, Michigan, and Ohio State. And then obviously LSU here, I think that's a pretty good spot for them. And also LSU is ranked at number 5 in the coaches poll. So that's a top 5 here for the AP poll. Let's now go to 6 through 10. We got USC at number 6, Penn State at number 7, Florida State at number 8, Clemson at number 9, and then Washington at number 10. Now, USC, I had them at number 8 in my preseason top 25. So I think they're, they kind of flipped, things around with the AP poll. They're a little bit higher than I kind of did not expect them to be. And then Penn State here at number 7, exactly where I put them at number 7. Florida State, just like I mentioned, I put them at number 4 in my preseason top 25. I'm just very high on this team. I think they're very close to being a top 5 team this year, but they're a top 5 team in my opinion this year, maybe a playoff contender. Florida State, though, at least they're ranked here in the top 10. At least the AP is not giving them some hate this year. And then you got Clemson here at number 9. They flipped things around with Washington and Clemson here. I had Clemson at number 10 in my top 25, and then I had Washington at number 9. I just think Washington would beat Clemson on a neutral site field. But Clemson, this team is kind of hard to predict against. They're kind of like Alabama. You just cannot predict against them. They're definitely going to be a top 10 team every single year, but they're probably not going to be a top 5 team. There's just a lot of concerns that people have with Clemson this year. But again, they're number 9 here in the AP poll, and then Washington here at number 10. Washington definitely deserves to be ranked here in the top 10. There's no question about it. I don't think they're the second best team in the Pac-12, but the Pac-12 is going to be a competitive conference, but we'll see what happens. That's the rankings from 6 through 10. Let's now go 11 through 15. We got Texas at number 11, Tennessee at 12, Notre Dame at 13, Utah at 14, and then Oregon at number 15. Texas at number 11. I had Texas ranked at number 14 in my preseason top 25. I just don't really agree with Texas here being at number 11, but the AP poll really likes this Texas team. They are really hyped for them. Obviously, with all the recruits that they have coming in, the transfers coming in, Quinn Ewers back at quarterback. You kind of don't blame the AP poll here for putting them at number 11, but I just think that's really a high number here for Texas to start out the year. because what if they don't live up to the expectations that they expect them to be? But if Texas, wins against Alabama this year, they could definitely move up to the top 10. Same thing with my preseason top 25. If they do beat Alabama, I'll move them up and everything. But they just got to prove to me that they are a team to look out for this year in 2023. Tennessee at number 12, exactly where I had them in my preseason top 25. Notre Dame at 13, same thing, exactly where I put them in my preseason. And then obviously Utah here at number 14. But I had Utah at number 11. Because this team has won the Pac-12 championship for the last couple years. A lot of production coming back for this team. Obviously, Cam Rising, a lot of concerns for them. He might miss the first game, which is a couple weeks away when they play Florida, but I think he'll be ready to go if it's really not a serious injury or anything like that. But again, Utah, we've seen them win the Pac-12 for the last couple years. I just think they need to flip that around. I think Utah should be ahead of all four of these teams, especially like Oregon as well. Oregon at number 15. Same thing where I put Oregon in my preseason top 25. I had them at number 15, and also the AP has them at number 15 as well. So those are the rankings from 11 through 15. And that's the first disagreement here, Texas being at number 11 and Utah being here at number 14. Let's now go 16 through 20. We got Kansas State at number 16, TCU at 17, Oregon State at 18, and Wisconsin at number 19, and then Oklahoma at number 20. I had Kansas State at number 17, and then I had TCU at number Of course, I had TCU all the way down to number 20, but instead they go up here to number 17. That's pretty interesting. I think they kind of look at what things looked like from last year for both of these teams. Again, these two teams are coming off really quality seasons. Of course, TCU went to the playoff last year. Oregon State I had at ranked number 16, and like I said, I had Kansas State at number 17. At number 18, I had Tulane. So, yeah, you could tell I was pretty high on Tulane heading into 2023. I think they were definitely, somewhere close to being a top 15 team this year. Oregon State, though, here at number 18, and then Wisconsin here at number 19. Wisconsin, I had them ranked at number 23 in my preseason top 25. I'm just not really high on Wisconsin this year, but I know a lot of people are hyping them up this year. And the reason why I'm not, like I said, I'm not really high on them, but I still have to at least rank them in the preseason top 25 because this team brought in a ton of guys from the transfer portal, brought in a ton of guys back from last year as well. And I think Wisconsin could be a really good team. I just think this is a pretty high ranking for Wisconsin for heading into their first year with Luke Fickell. But they're at number 19 here in the AP poll, and then Oklahoma here at number 20. I had Oklahoma just a spot behind at number 21. So from 16 through 20, things really flipped around a lot. Of course, Wisconsin, they were just outside the top 20. They moved to number 19. Oregon State was number 16 for me. I had Kansas State at number 17. At 16, like I said, I had, of course, Kansas State at 17, and I had TCU at number 20. So this was a big difference here according to my preseason top 25 and, of course, the AP poll. So now let's go to the last rankings here from 21 through 25. We got North Carolina here at number 21. I had them just one spot behind. I had them at number 22. Ole Miss at number 22 here. I had them at number 24. Texas A&M at number 23. This is the one team I don't agree with to be in the top 25. Texas A&M's coming off a very disappointing season last year, but I don't think it's really about, based off of where these teams were last year. I just think it's really about the recruiting and obviously the returning production according to the AP poll and everything, but don't get me wrong, I think Texas A&M's going to be a pretty good team this year, but I just don't really think they're a top 25 team, in the preseason just yet. They have to really prove me that they are a top 25 team when the season starts underway in just a couple weeks, or, the real season begins in a couple weeks, and then the college football season begins in about a week. So Texas A&M, they were ranked number 25 in the coaches poll. They're ranked number 23 here in the AP poll. I just don't really agree with Texas A&M here being in the top 25 to start out the year. Like I said, I didn't have Texas A&M in my top 25 in the preseason. Then Tulane here at number 24. I think Tulane should be ranked a little bit higher based off of where they were last year and beating, a Power 5 team in the Cotton Bowl and USC last year. And like I said, I had Tulane at number 18 in my preseason poll. I'm just very high on this Tulane team. I think they're going to be one of the top group of 5 teams heading into next year as well. And then Iowa rounds out the top 25 here at number 25. I know people are going to disagree with that, but I had Iowa exactly at number 25 in my preseason top 25 poll. I think I could kind of agree with the AP poll here, but like I said, there weren't really other options here, in my preseason top 25, but there were definitely other options here in the AP poll. I think if you look at Texas Tech, I think they could have probably made it in the top 25. I think that's a team that should have been ranked in the top 25 this year. Maybe there were some other teams like Duke. Maybe, for example, Duke could probably make it in there, but again, I think the AP just chooses, based on returning production and also based off of recruiting this year in the offseason and based off of where these teams were from last year. But Iowa didn't have a really good season, so I don't think they're going to pretty much last in the top 25 for a very long time. But these are the AP top 25 poll rankings heading into the 2023 season. My thoughts on them, I was pretty close. I was almost pretty accurate with the top 25, but compared to this AP top 25 poll, but I really wasn't, really close with Texas A&M being in the top 25. I just think Texas Tech should have been in here. I think Texas Tech should be in the top 25 this year in the AP poll, and I think obviously they should move Texas down a little bit, maybe at number 14 perhaps. So again, that's the AP Top 25 rankings for heading into the 2023 college football season. What are your guys' thoughts on the AP Top 25 poll? Do you think it's accurate, or do you think they probably should have made some changes? Let me know that in the comments below, and also don't forget to watch my preseason Top 25 and pretty much go back and watch it and kind of compare it to this Top 25 as well. And stay tuned here for more sports content videos on my Lucas Ross Sports channel.